Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Troy's and Gabriella's, Sharpays of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Binging Barbie. I'm your host, Jay, and with me I have my co-host. I'll email you my outfits each morning so we don't clash. Oh, and if you own anything orange, throw it out. John.
Just like my wife.
Oh no.
This is a podcast about toy media franchises, 2000s nostalgia, and other such ephemera. This week we are back to talk about the end of the original High School Musical trilogy. Of course, High School Musical 3, Senior Year. And joining us, we have a special returning guest, my sister Emma.
You can call me Rocket Man.
How generous, Emma.
What are you, some kind of Muppet gangster? What's with that line? Why'd you write that there?
Oh, that's a different line from later on, but I wanted to include it because I thought it was funny.
Well,
I
anyway.
like how you said that before asking what it was.
Yeah.
He's
All
a
right.
consummate professional.
You've just accepted Jay's shenanigans by now.
I mean, yes. Remember Hellstorm of Passion?
I was just showing that to some friends.
Oh no.
Why?
Because they were asking about, we were talking about high school projects. Speaking of high school musicals, that was not a musical. It should have been a musical.
Oh no.
When we remake it, we could do a musical, do it Mean Girls style.
You're remaking it?
Anyway, to get
Right.
off of inside jokes from high school onto a different type of high school inside joke. Emma, what is your high school musical history?
I watched them. I remember watching the third one in theaters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other two I really liked. I think the second one we recorded on VHS because it was streaming on cable.
Yeah, no, we saw it on when it aired originally because we
and
were
then we
in the
recorded it
States.
too.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't remember recording it. I just remember getting the DVD.
Yep. So I grew up watching them and then haven't seen them in years and then rewatched the third one just for this.
Yep. And now I've just
The third
sold
one, yep.
you. I've just sold you on watching the High School Musical El Desafío
Yep.
from Mexico. Which,
The music looks good. So
yeah, we will talk about
everything
that
else
next
looks
week.
cringy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, High School Musical 3. This was a big deal. It released in theaters.
Yeah.
Very rarely will you see a sequel to a TV show released in theaters on this scale and be this successful. I guess you have Downton Abbey, but that's later.
Sure. Yeah. But this is a film series that started as a kid's made for TV movie.
Yeah.
And your third one is this huge blockbuster high budget thing that looks like a Broadway show. It must be very jarring just watching these three films for the first time and just getting to the third one and being like, whoa, okay. Now that's something.
Yeah, they upped the budget quite a bit. It's still, I believe,
Quite
$15
a
million.
bit. Yeah.
Which is, not huge, but then it made a bunch of money. But yeah, this was released October 24, 2008 in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Directed once again by Kenny Ortega, written by Peter Barashoni, with cinematography by, I think it's, I should have checked the cinematography. I'm not sure about that one. But I think it is still
okay.
by Daniel Arano. And music composed by David Lawrence and written by a whole bunch of other people. And yeah, well, while you do the plot summary, I'll look up the cinematographer.
Okay. Well, anyway, for the plot, it's senior year, and everybody's getting ready for college. Oh, gosh. Anyway, Gabriella is planning to go to Stanford, but is on the fence about that. And Troy is unsure where he is going. This is complicated when he finds out that he is being considered for a scholarship for Juilliard, despite not even applying. Anyway, Miss Darbus is also putting on a show written by Kelsey about senior year, with the entire class participating, some of them reluctantly. With prom approaching, everyone starts asking each other out. Gabriella gets accepted to an early entrance program at Stanford and decides to go, even though it means she will miss prom and the show. Troy decides to drive to Stanford and bring Gabriella back to the show. And they arrive after their number, which was sung by Sharpay and Rockaman, the understudies, but perform it anyway. And then everybody graduates and they have a dance at the end.
Yep. And I forgot to write that Troy decides to go to Berkeley so he can do both sports and theater.
Which is only like 30 miles away from Stanford. So
yeah.
So it's the exact same decision he made in the first movie.
Yes.
Yes. So pretty much this is just they're doing a lot of the same stuff from the first movie, but for the big theater, movie theater stuff. For like newer audiences who probably just didn't watch the first two and just decided to go to the third one because why not?
I think it's maybe more like because the second one is so different. Not like completely different, but the style and the structure of it and the conflict of it. I think this is kind of more like, hey, we're doing one more for the fans. So let's bring it back to the original. They're back in the high school. They're back dealing with sports versus singing is in the second one as well. But
right.
Yeah, I think that kind of gets at my main complaint here with the story, which is that it just feels like a retread.
Yeah.
Like we've already seen this.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you get like more stuff going on, like, applying to colleges. Should I stay or should I go? It's less about I can't do theater, that's gay. And I'm a basketball player, but more like I don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
And then there's more of a personal struggle for high schoolers, I guess.
Yeah. It's just missing something that the second one had for me. I do like the going to college angle. And I think this does a decent job capturing the like angst of trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life after high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, certain ways the plot goes. Emma, do you have thoughts sort of overall on the plot?
Honestly, I didn't pay much attention to the plot. I was just enjoying the music and be like, oh yeah, I remember that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I dare say that I do enjoy that there's less sabotage going on by Sharpay. Yes, she does reveal the whole Stanford thing, but like that's nothing compared to changing the schedule of we're going to have the thing happen at the same time as the game. Or in the second film, employees no longer allowed to be part of the show, so it's just me, Sharpay. This one, she kind of takes a backseat. She wants to be the lead, but she doesn't really do anything nefarious to do it.
Yeah. She's a little bit toned down here.
Right.
Which I do kind of miss. I think, especially in the second half, she's much less prevalent than I would prefer. Rewatching through these High School Musical movies, it's like her and Ryan, that's the dynamic I find most interesting. And this is kind of the one that has
resets
the least of that.
each film to her base standards. A lot of the characters kind of reset each film a little bit to the base standards, but
because we have Chad is now like, okay, it was fine you wanted to do the musicals in high school, but now we're going to play basketball together.
Sure.
Gabriella, we'll talk about Gabriella. We have to get into Gabriella when we get into characters. But Kelsey's still awkward off to the side. Though here she like starts to stand out a little bit more. I like that it's her and Ryan that get the scholarships, though Ryan doesn't need the scholarship.
No, he needed that win over Sharpay, I think.
Yeah. Who needs and doesn't need scholarships in these? Like, I get that.
I mean, don't really scholarships are good. You don't want to spend your own money.
No. But Troy is like very concerned about his own scholarship, but then you look at his house. I guess it's like movie house thing where it's like you give the character a nice house because it's a movie, even though he's driving a bad truck and worried about his scholarship. But yeah, Ryan and Sharpay do not need scholarships at all. Their parents own a country club.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they do. But, it's good for Ryan because, it's the feeling of earning something versus just paying to do something. So
Yeah,
it's a good moment
and
for
I
him,
mean,
for sure.
he's thus been accepted into Juilliard, so he has his position there. Though again, if he could have. I don't know. Maybe he couldn't have. Maybe Sharpay could have, but twisted his parents enough to like donate a library to get him a position at not Stanford, Juilliard.
Sure.
But yeah, that's off to the side. We don't need to focus too much on that.
Yeah, no. The story isn't the worst thing in the world. It is a lot very similar to the first film. Some things they do slightly better, but most of it's just like, okay. It's retreading, so it's nothing special. It's just like the emotions of I don't know, graduating and leaving people behind.
Yeah,
Those type of things that they try to focus on here.
Which one of the issues I had, especially when it comes to like the pacing, this just feels very unfocused.
Yeah.
Because you have the graduation, you have the prom, you have the musical, and they aren't really building up to any of them so much as they're kind of building up to all of them. But then certain of them, like the prom, doesn't end up mattering all that much.
No, yeah. The only thing really about the prom is just that Troy goes to Stanford and has a dance with her.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're already at the show, so.
Yeah. Yeah, which we looked it up when we were watching this. To drive from Albuquerque to Stanford would take like 13 hours or something.
So there's a stretch of time that we just didn't see.
They just drove through a wormhole to get there on time.
His truck, I don't know that his truck is making it to Stanford.
His truck can barely make it home most of the time. At the beginning of the movie, they're pushing it, and his best friend guy's like, "When are you going to get this fixed?" I guess they do go to the junkyard after, and I guess maybe he fixes it up there.
Yeah, but it's a junkyard, so I personally, I would not drive that old piece of scrap metal 13 hours and then 13 hours back. What's the gas mileage on that? Maybe that's why he needs a scholarship, because he's paying $300 a week in gas.
Right. Well. Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of mean to like poke holes in this because it's High School Musical, but at the same time, it's I don't know. I had such nostalgia, or not nostalgia. Well, I liked these growing up, and then rewatching them, I'm like, I like the second one a lot, and the other two just don't do anything for me.
I like the second one the least, but we'll talk about. You would have already.
We'll talk about that last week.
Yes,
we haven't recorded that episode yet.
Yes, we'll talk about that last week. No, this one was just so depressing. Just because it's graduation and my own feelings of it, like, oh, darn, that was almost 10 years ago for us.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, give or take 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, almost 10 years, and then like, we were all graduated college pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh no, I don't want to relive these feelings. I feel so old. Look at those people. going on to
Yeah.
their dreams. They're not going to feel that way the next year.
Oh yeah, when they're like, I guess it is different for us though, because like growing up going to an international school, like the way you maintain relationships after you leave is very different.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, they're talking about like, oh, high school is the best years of our lives, and it's like that thing of like, if you peaked in high school, that's not a good thing.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, to get into some specifics here. Oh, I just wrote a note. Sorry, usually I type out my notes, but I forgot that I hadn't done that this time. So I opened the notes document, and John was like, "Hey, good notes." I said, "What's wrong?" And John said, "Scroll down," and the notes were empty. So I'm doing this based off of my written notes that I wrote while I was watching it. So I just have a note: Troy torn between thing.
That's his struggle with each film. He's
Yeah.
he's torn between thing.
Yep. I yeah, usually I write my notes right after I watch the movie, so I don't even look at my handwritten notes. So it's kind of interesting to look at these. Yeah, yeah. It's the same thing. We'll talk about Troy when we get to the characters, but yeah, it's the same conflict again.
Just a different shade
Yeah.
of paint.
Yeah.
More glossier.
The one other thing I wanted to bring up, the other nit I wanted to pick is the hazing scene.
Okay, yeah.
Where so Troy and Chad, there are two freshman basketball players who or they might not be freshmen, but younger. They aren't graduating. Troy and Chad are graduating, so they're like, these are going to be their replacements. And so they're in the locker room and they steal these people's clothes and like run around the entire school and get these people to chase after them. And then they're in the theater and Miss Darbus, they're like up on the stage while everyone's practicing. And Miss Darbus does not punish the people who took the clothes, but the people who had their clothes taken.
Yeah. Well, Troy's a star. You can't punish him.
It was what are they doing at this school?
It's all about Troy and Sharpay. That's what they're doing at the school.
Well, yeah, what it is like institutionalized hazing, which is a thing that will happen in like certain places where there will be hazing rituals that then are so entrenched and ingrained in the culture of the school. Because presumably this is something that happened to Chad and Troy when they were younger, and now they're passing on this tradition. So it's like it has been institutionalized where now the entire school accepts this as
they ran through a car shop.
Yeah. Did they have shoes on? I don't think so. That
Probably
is
not
safe
yeah.
or sanitary.
No.
What? and then they're the ones who get injured.
You know, that's one of the first things that comes to mind when I think of High School Musical was the hazing scene.
Okay.
But for some reason, I thought that was in the first film, and it happened to Troy and Chad, not the other way around.
You see, it would make sense if it was happening the other way around, because that would be a good way to build empathy with these characters. Instead, it's just like they're
because they're
so
the cool
cruel.
kids, so they can't be bullied.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't make sense within the construct of the first film.
Sure, yeah.
It would almost have to be like Gabriella, and that would be like the gender dynamics there would be completely different.
I mean, Miss Darbus, she just is like, okay, look at that. Forced labor, got it.
Yeah. Miss Darbus is not...
I think she just wants an excuse to have more people helping on the show, and that's why.
Yeah. But don't at least punish Troy and Chad. They're clearly the ones responsible. They're the problem. That
somehow they got forced into being part of the show, which you need parents' permission to do that, but okay.
The whole construct of the show I find odd.
At least we have an actual show
Yeah,
being
I
developed
do appreciate
throughout the
that.
film.
I think
Whereas the first one is like just the auditions.
yeah. I think my issue with it is we're seeing stuff we've already seen played out again. And I don't know. I don't know how to do that differently. If it wasn't a play about senior year so directly.
Yeah. It's probably a thing where they chose to retread so that newer audiences can be like, oh yeah, if you only watch this film, this is the experience.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to. I kind of think just don't have the show. I wonder if it's a better. If there's like. They're just like no show.
Don't have the show.
Yeah.
That's
Ms.
the only
Darbus
thing I
isn't in
like
it.
about this is the show.
Okay.
They take out the
Well, maybe-
show, it's like, oh, okay, well, the visuals go down to 0 then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it was
Okay.
really nice to have the visuals of the show.
Okay.
But yeah, I do agree. Or
I
it could
think-
have been just the show.
I
Why
think
is this
plot
called
wise-
High School Musical
That's
then
actually-
without the show?
Yeah. Because it's still a musical. You just don't have the performance at the end. I don't know.
Yeah,
For
because
me,
the
it
second
didn't-
one didn't have any, like, well, I guess
It
Sharpay
had the competition.
There was no high
thing,
school
but that
in the
was-
second one.
Yeah.
So no musical in the third one, and then you've evened it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see. I do think the show is well executed. I just think from a plot standpoint, I'm not entirely sure what purpose it serves.
Their last show.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
not-
emotions they're trying to get.
Yeah.
One last hurrah.
Yeah. Which I like that part of it. It just feels so secondary for so much of the movie.
Yeah, that's true. This is kind of pushed in the back burner, and Troy and Gabriella aren't even there for their main song until they decide
Yeah.
to replay it.
Hmm.
Poor audience.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, we've been invested in these two characters. Who are these new two showing up?
Except I don't think there are any characters in the show.
Oh, maybe not.
I think it's just numbers styled around
Around senior
the-
year.
Yeah.
Well, the characters are the students themselves because
Yeah.
the new girl is playing Sharpay.
Yeah. Is this what
So-
Euphoria did? I never saw season 2 of Euphoria. I gave up on it, but I think this is what season 2 of Euphoria did that everyone hated. I don't know. I just wanted to say that in case anyone listening is yelling, season 2 of Euphoria did this.
Well, how would
So-
we know? So
I don't. I looked up a plot summary at some point for it. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, plot here. I don't know. After 2, I'm just so disappointed that they weren't able to take this in yet another new direction. That they kind of fell back on the old tricks. Like, I even like Emma's idea of what if the musical is the movie.
Yeah. Because then you could have all the cool visual stuff that they do of like
well,
stage props.
it kind of is the movie because we see the numbers throughout the film.
Yeah, but it's
but it
it's-
seems removed in a way too.
It's the movie in the way that like the movie that the way that the Lord of the Rings is the book, because at the end Sam is like, and then I wrote all of these things down. The end. Where it's like
I
up
don't
until
remember
that
that
point you
happening.
don't realize that you are watching. And since they repeat everything, I don't know.
Well, there's several moments where characters are having a conversation, then they start singing, and then they end the song, and they're on stage performing the song to Miss Darby. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's good, that's good. And so you're seeing the development of the show through the people's personal experience.
Yeah. Which, yeah, but also I wish that had been the point more specifically. I don't know. Maybe it's
Right.
just that I
The
don't like
point is really just the sadness of like, oh, this is the last thing, we have to move on and say
Yeah.
goodbye and all that jazz.
Because if it's like commenting on the relationship between the play and the real life events, if we're seeing the play develop over the course of this, as like Kelsey, even if it's just like Kelsey, like, I can't figure out the final number, and then because of all of the events figures out the final number.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of bittersweet about leaving, but then still continuing on your life, or something like something to deal with the themes.
Yeah, so something to make the actual performance part matter to the rest of the story, rather than just be, this is High School Musical, we need to do the performance. Again, John, I do agree with you that a lot of the best parts of the movie are in that final performance sequence.
Final performance sequence?
Well, the whole last act, shall we say. But yeah, the stuff leading up to it didn't quite work for me.
I like the numbers. Not really much
Yeah.
of the story besides that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad because I have a friend who was saying, oh, I like this one and not many people do, and I want to defend it. And I wasn't able to ask her like what her defense was before this, so hopefully I'll be able to add that into a later episode. But yeah, this just didn't quite work for me, and I was a little bit let down. So I gave the story a 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, same here. It's the same score I gave the first film, but this one I remember less.
Okay.
In retrospect, I remember the visual numbers of all the numbers, but in terms of story, I remember the first one the most. I don't really care for the second one. The third one, I just forget sometimes. So,
Yeah, I also gave it a 2.5. I felt like the story, not very memorable, not super, like, there weren't any big twists or anything like that. So, yeah, it carried me mostly on the nostalgia. It's like, oh yeah, that happened.
So yeah, on to characters. We have Troy, once again, the central protagonist here. Once again, torn between two things.
How surprising.
Yeah. I like his arc in theory. I like this thing of, oh, he's been or like potentially could be accepted to Juilliard. And he's considering that possibility. I don't believe for one moment that he is actually going to end up going to Juilliard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's just no reason for him to choose just theater.
Yeah.
Especially since the first one he didn't give up basketball for theater.
Yeah.
And it's not like Gabriella's going to Juilliard.
Yeah, if Gabriella was going, then I think that might be a little bit more up in the air. Because throughout this, it's always kind of been like, I can't tell how much Troy enjoys musical theater versus how much he enjoys spending time with Gabriella.
Yeah.
Which I think we talked about that, especially in the first movie.
Yeah, and it's also just continued in the second film where he doesn't really want to be part of the show. He's just there for Gabriella.
Yeah. So, yeah, to make that, I like that conflict. It's just, I never buy into it as like an actual question, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they would convince me of that. But yeah, that I don't know. I don't find him interesting in this one the way I did in the second.
Even if he had expressed a desire to go to Juilliard rather than whatever school his dad was forcing on him.
Yeah.
And when he's torn between his dream and his friends, that would be more interesting. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which we should talk about the dad. Because I've said it before, and I will say it again. The dad is the true villain of High School Musical. Here he's like yeah, he has such a specific vision for his son's life that it just ends up kind of always getting in the way of stuff. But the movies never quite treat him as the villain.
Uh-huh.
Like, he always gives the
Well,
sage piece of fatherly advice.
because I feel like in some ways he's like the opposing figure, at least in the first one, if I'm remembering correctly.
But then in the second one, he gives Troy bad advice, and then later on in the movie gives Troy good advice, as if he did not give Troy the bad advice at the beginning.
Like, wow, you're stupid. Why did you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was not into Troy's arc here. How about you, John?
I mean, I I like it casually. It's the same arc in each film. I
Yeah.
kind of like the angle of divided by schools instead of just passions. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I like that it is, because yeah, in the first one, it's like there's no, the danger of it is less clear. The stakes of it, that's a better way of putting it. Whereas
Okay,
here
yeah.
it is, he's deciding his future. So that I do find engaging. I don't ever believe that he is going to Juilliard. And like,
Yeah.
even though he's going to Berkeley, I don't imagine him like sticking with the theater side of things all 4 years. I think he does the basketball, and then because he's a good basketball player within the world of the movies, he joins a professional basketball team. Or
He's
if
not tall
he's
enough
not
for
actually,
that.
yeah, no, but within the world of the movies are presenting us, he is supposed to be that good of a player.
Well, see, what's going to happen is he's going to go to college and then realize, oh, I'm actually the worst player on the team, because that's what happens. Is that
Yeah.
you're the best at high school, but then all the best at high schools come together, and then you find out that you're the worst of the group.
Which,
So
yeah, which that might actually, okay, that would be, if they were to make High School Musical college school musical,
yeah,
That sounds so bad.
because then you could have like his arc being, oh, I like basketball, I'm not that good at basketball, so maybe I do basketball as a hobby, but I am good at singing, so maybe I go into that. I
that way
think
I can
more
express my
realistically,
passions.
yeah. But again, I don't know that it's a passion of his. Like, these movies have yet to convince me, 3 movies in, that he enjoys
It's
singing for the sake of singing.
it's all about
Yeah.
Gabriella,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I think most realistically, with the way they've set things up, yeah, he goes to college, he realizes he's not that good of a basketball player, he does a couple of the musicals, and then gets a degree in business and becomes an accountant or something.
And then he
or
works at
a high
Walmart for the
school
rest of his
basketball
life.
coach. Yeah. I don't know what High School Musical, the musical, the series does with that character.
See,
But
that's why I don't like thinking about afterwards, because I know that it's not going to work out at all.
Yeah. Troy.
Troy, yeah.
Yep. Now, Gabriella. So last week when we talked about this, which you definitely have done already, and are not recording this out of order.
I mean, we talked a
I
little
was,
bit in next week's episode, so
yep.
So last week we will talk about this.
Yes.
Is how the
Last week
last week we talk about next week, and next week we'll talk about last week. Okay.
Yep. Well, yeah, because next week we've already talked about this, but Gabriella in the second movie, I was so impressed by how emotionally mature she is. And I think it's such a smart decision to make with this character who has been moving around her entire life. So she knows how relationships work. She knows when something isn't working, how to be like, okay, I'm done, I'm moving on. In a way that is healthy for both people. In this movie, she just leaves. She tells
Yeah.
Troy
Well,
she
she-
is staying, and then she leaves.
Well, no, Troy convinces her to go.
No, I
Well,
don't think so.
yeah, because
He
isn't
does. He
yeah.
does.
He
Sharpay
does?
tells her that Gabrielle is going to Stanford, and then he goes to her and he's like, "Why are you hesitating? You should go."
Okay. I
And then
thought though,
yeah.
but she doesn't tell him.
She doesn't tell him
No,
when she's
she
finally,
does.
like,
She
well,
does. She does, but she's expected to come back for prom, and then she
Oh yeah.
doesn't, and she calls and says, "Hey, I can't come back because I don't want to come back and then have to leave again and then come back. It would be too emotionally difficult to just say
Yeah.
goodbye so many times. So I'm just gonna stay here and rip the band-aid."
But I kind of got the sense, because I think she says, I don't know, there's maybe I'm misremembering it, but well, the first thing is she doesn't tell Troy that she got accepted to the early program.
Yeah.
And then they have the
Right, because
conversation
she
about it,
wasn't
and he's like,
planning on going
yeah,
at that point. So,
yeah,
and Troy was
um,
aware of that. She's like, "Okay." She didn't tell me because she wasn't sure about it.
yeah, but Sharpay is able to, but then he convinces her to go. But I think she's like, I'm not sure if I'm going, and if I do, I'll be back for graduation. And then she has her whole number about how she's leaving and never coming back, which she never discusses with him. And it just, like, after the last movie, having their sort of quote unquote breakup scene and how emotionally mature she was about the whole thing of like, it's time for this to end. If it doesn't end permanently, that's fine. But I need to move on, and I need you to know that I need to move on. So it just felt like such a backslide with her character. I understand from an emotional perspective what they're going for, of she just can't say goodbye. I think that's even her song is all about can't say goodbye again. But again, that's very like, that is what I expect from a high school movie. Whereas the last movie, I think the emotional maturity she brought to it was refreshing compared to other like teen movies.
Mm-hmm. But it could also just probably what they're going for is that in the last movie they're not thinking about what happens after graduation. They're just living in the moment. But then once senior year comes in, that's really when you start thinking, oh wait, we're not gonna always be like this, so we have to really think about this type of thing. And at that point, Berkeley wasn't at all discussed, and so she just thinks, okay, well, we're probably not gonna be able to have this type of connection anymore. So,
Which I just wish she had had that conversation with him rather
she
than
did.
having a musical number about how she's leaving.
She did have this conversation with him.
She not in this way. She had the conversation of, "Oh, I'll be back for prom and graduation."
But they discussed it a little bit, and then he convinced her. It's like, oh,
Yeah. To me, it was not. It felt more teen movie-ish rather than, I don't know, it, because I was paying very close attention to this specific thing since I liked her character so much in the last movie. Here, there's just something missing there in terms of her emotional intelligence and paying attention to Troy's feelings and like making sure that she is giving him a clear understanding of where she's at.
I wasn't put aback, or I didn't really see anything that was contradictory. It was just like, okay, that's sort of like a natural progression. But anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. We should probably do Ryan.
Ryan.
He's my favorite, I think.
Yeah. He doesn't get a lot to do once again. But
I mean,
he's I guess orchestrating this whole, he's choreography.
the
He's
last film was his
choreographing
big moment.
everything. Yeah. I think part of the reason the characters here don't work as well for me is because it's so scattershot with who gets focused when. It feels like no one gets the full attention they deserve except for Troy, who maybe gets a little bit too much attention. Because there kind of is an arc for Ryan in terms of.
Well, it feels like
getting
the
away.
conclusion of his arc that's been happening
Yeah.
throughout the whole 3, especially with him getting the scholarship that his sister doesn't get. That's huge. And being
Yeah.
recognized for his talents rather than just being Sharpay's brother. Because that's what
Mhm.
he's wanted since the beginning.
Yeah. I guess because that's what the last movie kind of did. So maybe it's just that it's repeating that it didn't really stand out as much to me.
Again, like everybody resets a little bit in this
Yeah.
film. Ryan, he gets past his reset very quickly when he just is missing for most of the film. But
yeah, again, this is, I think recording this one out of order has kind of put different perspectives in, because John and I have seen the Latin American spin-off movies.
Oh, wait. He does have that thing with Kelsey that I forget happens because it's not important at all.
The little flirtation, or is there something I'm forgetting?
So Sharpay tells him to go get buddy with Kelsey so he can steal the music.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't and treats Kelsey with respect. And then it's very ambiguous whether or not there's a thing going on there. I don't know.
Yeah. That should be, I guess, even in Game of Thrones, the Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister thing doesn't go anywhere. But that it should feel more monumental than it does. That should be Ryan's.
I guess the two just work together well enough that they both go to Juilliard. So that's the end of that. It's like, okay, well, we're a good team.
It's they have to pair everyone up, especially Ryan and Kelsey, because they are the characters who are the most queer coded. So in order for this to be a Disney movie, they have to be paired up with each other at the end so the audience doesn't ask too many questions. Even though we all know they get to Juilliard and they are best of friends and do not have any interest in each other in that way.
Anyway.
Sharpay. Yeah.
Doesn't get a whole lot to do in this one.
No. She has her little arc with the her minion who betrays her, which I love that. But it's so fascinating to see her seeing someone who is a mirrored version of her and having to look at herself from the outside. The problem is that's 5 minutes of the movie.
And you don't really see Sharpay change from that.
Yeah. And that's one of the last few things of the film that they just reveal.
Yeah, if there had been a little bit more of a rivalry between the two established earlier on, then you could see a little bit more interesting stuff develop there.
Yeah, because we kind of just forget about her whole thing of stealing the music so that she could be the lead. So
yeah. And she has her big musical number, but it's the second musical number in the film, and it happens in the first 10 minutes.
It's one of the best ones of the film as well.
It is. So. No, it's kind of why did you put your villain song second? I guess no, because there hasn't been enough established. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she decides at the end that she's gonna come back and teach drama at the high school.
Wild.
Sharpay.
I don't understand it from a character perspective. I understand it from a real world perspective.
Sure. Yeah.
So here's my theory. I'll let you finish your thought, and then I'll give my theory.
The thought that came out of my mind is is she doing that out of spite for the new girl, the British girl?
I mean, I think she is.
I think so.
Yeah. I think that's her way of being like, it's still my theater department.
Mhm.
Back off. But it's like, it's high school. Sharpay, it's high school. No one cares.
Right. Like, she doesn't need to go to Juilliard. She's already talented enough
Yeah.
to do whatever, but I don't
Which
know. I guess
she
she's stuck
gets her
in high
spin
school.
off. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess we'll find out next film.
Yeah. Which we'll do this. We did this next week, but Emma, do you know who plays the male lead in Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure?
No.
Austin Butler, aka the Fade Routha from Dune Part 2.
Huh. I'm guessing not as much
Academy
makeup in,
Award
the High School
nominee
Musical.
Austin Butler. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't think he's doing his best Stellan Skarsgård impression, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like, yeah, you look at him because he was like Elvis, and then you look at him. We'll talk about it when we get to Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure. I just like springing that on random people because I did not realize that, and then when I watched the trailer, I'm like, why is Austin Butler in this? Anyway, where? Oh yeah, this is my theory as to why Sharpay comes back. So I think it's High School Musical 3. They're talking with all of the actors like, hey, this is successful. As they're developing it, what about a High School Musical 4?
Right.
And I think everyone except for Ashley Tisdale said, no thanks, we're going to move on. So I think their plan, not as in we're going to do this, but as in we're going to leave the door open for this, is High School Musical 4, Sharpay stays behind, and then you have her
Rocket Man and the other
Rocket
kid.
Man, and which is why those characters get so much focus.
Would that lead to a romance between Rocket Man and Sharpay? It'd be awkward.
Probably
That would be
not.
interesting.
Well,
but like she'd be but he's a freshman and she's graduating.
The age gap is too weird.
Oh, I thought you meant Sharpay's friend or
no,
Sharpay. Because Sharpay and Rocket Man had some weird stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
Rocket Man had a thing for Sharpay.
I mean, the age gap might be like 2 years because I don't think Rocket Man is a freshman.
I mean, I could see the Rocket Man and Sharpay stand-in actually, because they'd be similar enough that Rocket Man might go after her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were talking about. I think Sharpay would not be into that, but I think maybe her replacement.
Well, that's the thing. It would be a Sharpay isn't into it, but then gets into it when she sees Rocket Man's beautiful heart.
I don't buy that. But sure.
Yeah, but at that point she'd be staff, and like that's against regulation.
Yeah. Is she staff? What is her position?
I thought she was helping out with the drama department, not running it.
But still, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't understand from a Sharpay perspective why she's staying.
I don't either.
Beyond just spite. Whereas I mean,
according to the Wikipedia, she's going to the University of Albuquerque, so I don't know.
Okay.
Also, like doing part-time helping out at the high school and then going to university.
Maybe.
Even then, that's a thing that like people do because they're nice.
Or if they have a lot of spite towards the lead actress.
Yeah. That's my theory, though, as to like the real world behind the scenes stuff. That might have been the reason that makes sense. Then that Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure is the last of the series until the series.
10 years later.
It's like, yeah. Yeah, who else?
I don't even know if Sharpay's in that show because Ashley Tisdale's not.
Okay. Anyway, Chad, he's here.
I like how immediately he accepted Troy not going to university with him, which surprised me a little bit. But I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great.
But like he accepts it once Troy's like, oh yeah, I'll be on the opposing team's basketball. It's like, oh, okay. I guess.
Well, because he's like, okay, we'll still see each other. I can live with that. And, which I think was cool because what's it? his dad, or well, I don't remember. I feel like
His dad was more.
someone was
resistant.
saying that, like, I think his dad was saying that his friend wouldn't agree, and he's like, no, my friend would understand, and that's, oh yeah, he did understand.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was cool.
After taking a moment alone to reflect on it, of course,
Yeah.
because they talked about going together. Like Chad, the entire film was like, we're gonna be together forever, playing basketball
Together.
They have a fun little romp at the
junkyard.
Yeah,
Which we can talk about. Emma, do you remember the junkyard that we would play?
That was like the yeah,
because this was around that time.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's like the only thing I remember from this movie was the junkyard.
Yeah, Emma and I would play in junkyards. We would smash up. They had like fluorescent lights, so we would smash up the fluorescent lights.
One time there was a computer.
Yeah, broke apart a computer, and yeah, a lot of fun. This was before
the junkyard is
safety
the
was
one
invented.
location that I remember the most because of that number with all the cars and the lights and like the cool newsy
It was cool
stuff. Yeah,
it's weird how often junkyards are like settings for stuff in movies.
Well, because they're interesting places.
Yeah,
it's probably cheaper too to go there.
Yeah,
probably.
It's like weird though that it's like, I guess, yeah, thematically it does make sense, but you would usually think like junkyard is a place of like sadness or destruction
or gang
I
violence.
guess it's,
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it is
Fair.
often like a place for finding things you don't expect,
like drugs.
I was thinking more positive, but sure.
It's like they're in a junkyard in Albuquerque. I mean, like Breaking Bad. They're in the junkyard all the time in Breaking Bad. So
I have not seen Breaking Bad.
They're dealing meth on one corner, and then just around the corner you have Troy and Chad dancing around.
Doing their Kill Bill style.
Somebody should just do a cut of Breaking Bad with High School Musical numbers just around them in the background.
Yeah, not even cutting to it, just like you could hear it faintly in the background as the characters are talking.
Oh man.
Walter White's teaching at a school, and like you hear the basketball team like 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen Breaking Bad, so I didn't realize that there was a junkyard connection there. Though the one that immediately comes to my head, because I've seen it multiple times, is Halloween Ends, which is a very different film than this one.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it on a podcast, but not this podcast. And not any podcast that I do with you, John. So it's just like in the ether as like, if anyone is listening and has a podcast that would fit a Halloween Ends discussion, I'm putting it out into the ether to the 50 people or so who listen to this. Maybe one of them has a podcast.
Maybe we'll have a Patreon exclusive thing.
Yeah.
For anybody who joins Patreon, please.
But yeah, who else? Taylor is here.
Yeah,
I guess prom thing.
She's part of the yearbook, which we only ever see in the credits.
Yeah. No, she's on the yearbook staff, which we see in the scene when Gabriella finds out she's been accepted to the early program at State.
Also, they take a picture of the hazing. It's like, yearbook material.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Wild. Why? What is up with this school? I don't understand.
It's the drugs, man.
Probably. What other characters do we even have? We have Rocket Man.
Starbiz. Yeah, Rocket Man.
I think he is one of the characters who... I like his character. I like where his character goes in terms of like when he has to like understudy for Troy for the final performance. I think that is funny. I think his character takes away from... in their like trying to leave the door open for sequels, I think they split their time too much and end up focusing too much on him, and it kind of takes
Does
away
he
time.
does he really get focus? I just
I mean,
saw
I
him
feel
as
like
a
he
one
doesn't.
note character.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much time,
He has more scenes than Kelsey.
He does. One of them is the hazing scene. One of them is that he wins the basketball game.
And like the thing about that though is like the hazing scene is all about him.
That's true. Yeah.
Like he gets so many scenes about him specifically.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't really exhume anything except like maybe he's high on something. I don't know.
Yeah. he does exude that, I would say. He's a real skater in the High School Musical appropriate sense.
He's so non-observant of things.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Rocket Man, you're up. What?
Who's Rocket Man?
Yeah. I wish I had gotten the clip. I should have clipped it out from the Elton John song, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Which I'm just gonna have to edit it in every time we say Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man, Rocket Man, Rocket Man, Rocket
Man.
That
we'll
one I'll
skip. Random Rocket Mans throughout the episode. Rocket Man. From now on.
Yeah, Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Maybe I won't do every time.
Well, that's a shame because Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
It is a good movie.
Rocket Man?
Rocket Man.
Anywho.
Yeah, anywho. Yeah, Ms. Darbus is here.
She has
some
one
fun lines.
scene with Troy that I like, but
oh yeah, when he's on stage.
Mm-hmm.
As he's having his like freak out. That's a good scene.
They went all out on that freak out. The spinning hallway.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
2 years before Inception.
Yeah. Oh, Nolan, he saw this film. It's like, darn, I gotta do this for my film.
I mean, yeah, they make such a big deal in the Inception making of we spun a hallway. It's like, yeah, so did High School Musical 3.
You don't hear them talking about it.
Actually, they do probably talk about it as well. But they're talking about, it's so innovative. We spun a hallway. Go listen to our Inception episode we might have brought up High School Musical 3.
We did not.
We didn't? Okay.
We haven't talked about High School Musical until we did.
Until now.
Later.
It must have come up at some point.
I guarantee you it has to do with Monster High. Or no. It was a Barbie film, the Rock and Royals. That would have been when that was.
Because we talked about Camp Rock.
Yeah, and so logically we'd also talk about High School Musical at that point.
I'm just thinking we might have briefly mentioned High School Musical.
Not during Nolan. I can guarantee that. And if we did, well, boo-hoo.
Yeah, go back and listen to those episodes and tell us if we did. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say about the characters.
No, they're there. They're much of the same.
I gave them a 2.5 out of 5. I don't know why it's that high. Because I don't like Gabriella's arc, as we've discussed ad nauseum.
I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 2. No, you're messing up my average.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to 2.5 for the sake of averages.
I also gave it a 2.5. I feel like, they're decent for what they are. There's some good characters in there, some good moments in there, but there's nothing super special or gripping about any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of rotating hallways, the visuals.
Oh, I like the visuals.
Just, they put money in this, and it just looks good. Just all the dance numbers, they went so extra with the dance numbers. With, the scenery. I Want It All has so many stage locations. So many costume changes. And it's
what they do with the
colorful.
cafeteria space is
Yeah.
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the one location that has been in all three movies is that cafeteria, which I don't know if it's an actual cafeteria as used in the school where they filmed this, but such a good location.
Mm-hmm.
What
And
I
then they
like,
do the Fosse
yeah.
number. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say what I liked in general about this movie was how much of the visuals looked like stages, especially during the songs. I just thought that was really cool with all like the stage props and
Yeah.
backgrounds and stuff. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the I Want It All has a lot of the like stage elements there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even some other ones, like the one in the junkyard, had some like shadows and
Yeah.
stuff, which you sometimes see on stage. And then I can't remember any specific examples, but it just seemed like that came in a lot during the songs, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this film has like a lot of just flair and style and just fun
Yeah.
energy that I
Mhm.
felt that was missing from the second film. We'll talk about next week, last week.
We'll talk about it last week.
Yes. So it was just so great to see. Just like, oh, okay, this is what High School Musical B can be on with like a huge budget.
Yeah. Yeah, it is so impressive. And I like the second one visually. But this is definitely an upgrade. Just in terms of what they are able to do, the set pieces they're able to do. Yeah, I love the Fosse number because that's like the one style of choreography I can identify by name. I'm like, that's Fosse. I don't know much about choreography. So that's the like with the hands and like the movements.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. I was like, I don't even know Fosse.
Yeah.
The hands and the movements. Fosse.
Oh, yeah, you can't see, but Jay was doing a demonstration of the hands and the
Right.
movements.
You know what Fosse is, John, right?
No, I don't. But I'll
It's
take
with
your
the
word
hands
for
and
it.
the movements.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I
It was
like
a
when they
choreography.
bow at the
In
end.
Chicago. Cabaret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bow at the end.
Yeah, that they do the like curtain call and have all of the
Yeah.
actors, which they do in we talked about it next week. They do I think we talked about it next week.
Briefly.
They do a similar
Next
thing.
week or last week?
Next week.
No, next week.
Okay, actual next week.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm
we
getting
might
the
talk
timeline
about it
mixed
last
up.
week. We might talk about it last week because they do a kind of similar thing, but here it's like the way they punctuate it is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it does have that like theater energy visually, which is a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
The junkyard had a lot of cool, like the car was moving and came to life at one point, and then all the background like dancers and stuff, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that whole set piece is fun. All of the set pieces are fun.
Yeah.
Or Troy tearing down his banner.
Yes. Oh, we need
the
to talk
lightning
about...
strike in the background. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That music number is fun. I think that might be why I said rock opera in my notes.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, Ryan's pink pants. Ryan has pink pants.
He does, yes.
That's another one.
I mean, they had pink everything, but
his T-shirt is a little bit suspect, and I won't say why because this is a ostensibly PG rated podcast. But I was confused by his T-shirt, but his pants were cool.
Okay.
I don't know if I was misunderstanding his T-shirt, but anyway, the outfits are just good. There's a lot of costumes. It's very dynamic.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I thought it kind of funny at the end, with the Sharpay impersonator girl. She's like, "Oh yeah, I got your same dress but better," and "better" just means with the sleeve on the other side.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same dress except it's symmetrical.
Oh yeah, because you commented on that while we were watching the movie. I was like, didn't they say that in the movie? But no, you're the one who said it while we were watching the movie. You can tell we've seen this very, very recently.
I mean, I have, but anyway.
Yeah.
John will have to keep us on track.
Anyway, these were my favorite visuals of the 3 films, just because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to compare, like, a
Yeah.
TV movie with theater budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seeing this in the theater was so exciting, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What? That's so cool. Whoa.
Oh, one thing we did comment on while we were watching it, I forget who said it. The whole family was watching it over at our place. The scene where Troy brings the pizza up to Gabriella
They eat the whole
with the
pizza.
like little rope, and then they never show how he gets up on the balcony. So we were wondering if he like hung on the rope and she pulled him
See,
up as well.
In the first film, he climbed a tree to get up there. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And then the pieces of crust, because there are like 2 pieces
yeah.
of crust, and Troy's the one who tosses the second piece of crust on the box. But then who ate the rest of the crust?
Yeah.
These are
It
the
is a
important
full
questions.
pizza. When they are finished with the pizza, there are 2 pieces of crust left. Troy's the one who puts it down. Does that mean that Gabriella ate, what would that be, like 8 pieces of pizza? While Troy ate 2?
No. Because it's usually 8 slices, so that's like 6.
Okay. 6
Or-
slices of pizza.
Or she ate 4 if it's like 6 slices,
Yeah.
depending on how big it is. But then they're able to eat strawberries right after that. So
Yeah, strawberries with chocolate.
yeah. Mhm.
Gabriella's a growing teen.
Yep.
She needs her food.
She's going
Hey.
off to Stanford. She has to make it all the way there. Where
Hey,
is she gonna-
basketball players, they use a lot of energy. So
Yeah.
But
Basketball
he's
players...
the one who threw
yeah.
the crust away. So either Gabriella was eating his crust and didn't eat the last
Hey,
2, or
I
Troy
eat
only had
people's
2 pieces of
crust when they
pizza.
don't want it. Some people eat their crust, but they leave the last one because they're full by the last one. So it's like,
That's
okay.
fair.
But it's 2 left over at the end.
So maybe
Gabriella's
Gabriella
enjoying.
did one, and then he did his. Being like, okay, I'll leave mine there too because you did yours. We'll make it even.
Anyway, despite the pizza shenanigans, I gave
Yeah.
the visuals a 5.
I also gave it a 5. Just
Because
in the
of the
realm of
pizza.
High School Musical, yes.
No, because of the pizza shenanigans, I gave it a 4.5. Otherwise, it would be a full 5.
They just didn't pay enough attention, I guess.
Nope.
Darn people.
I might put that up to a 5, and then I can drop my
I'll get the average.
my
We'll stay the same.
my character score down to a 2, and then we don't have to worry about the averages.
Okay. Well,
Performances.
I
yeah,
thought
they were there.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ashley Tisdale continues to be the standout for me.
Even if she's toned down a bit for this film.
Yeah. Zac Efron. I think Zac Efron has like. There were last one, which we will talk about last week.
Next week, yeah.
Oh,
Last week, next week.
yes. The timeline
Very
has
confused.
broken. We will talk about last week.
It will be
though.
next week and last week.
Yes. We will talk about last week though that I think he much improved between 1 and 2, and I think he has improved a little bit between 2 and 3. Just in terms of like getting rid of a few of his like actorly ticks that were maybe a little bit distracting in the first one.
Yeah, his Disney Channel acting ticks, you know.
Yeah. Vanessa Hudgens is also very good. She, again, I have problems with that character, which you can go back 20 minutes and hear me talk all about that. So,
but why would you do that? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone's good.
Yeah. No.
I don't think. So, yeah, the lack of like good Sharpay brings my score down to a 3.5.
I just give it a 3.5 in general. So, yeah.
I gave it a 4. Felt like it was good.
Yeah, I feel like last one I gave it a 4 or a 4.5. So that's the reason why this isn't as high as the last one, is not enough Sharpay.
Mhm.
But yeah, music.
Pretty good.
Uh,
Really repetitive.
I don't find it as memorable as the last two films, but it's still really good.
I think I Want It All sticks in my head.
Mhm.
I think, okay, as much as I like the junkyard number, I don't think it serves much of a purpose in the story.
Yeah.
Than just to say these two are good friends for a long time, and this was their dreams.
Yeah, which is information we have known since the first movie.
Right.
Um,
I
I guess you
remember
could. Oh, go ahead.
16 and then High School Musical at the end.
Yeah,
Those are the only two songs I remember. So
I had the soundtrack on my iPod,
Yeah, I've
so
listened
I
to the soundtrack
heard.
outside
Yeah,
of the movie before, and I was surprised how much I remembered. Like, I wouldn't be able to sing them right now, but singing along was pretty easy when I
yeah.
was rewatching, which was cool.
yeah, despite this being the one I remember the least, I still give the music a 5.
I gave the music a 4. Yeah, I like Emma. I know all of these songs. And
Mhm.
I love some of these numbers. I mean, we already kind of talked about it, but they're just very well constructed. I think this maybe has the most consistently good music of the three. Not that any of them have bad music, but yeah, you can tell that the quality they've hit a peak there.
Right, but like they're not as memorable as the other ones, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they are, but I listen to
Wow.
them a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. I also gave it a 4 because I feel like the music's really good, but it gets really repetitive.
Yeah, that's the one problem is and they're playing the same songs over and over again.
Yeah, because they do that one performance twice with
Yeah,
Sharpay,
right
or
after
they
each
do a
other.
rehearsal of it too, I think, or something.
Yeah, the Troy and Gabriella number they do twice.
And then the last one, they just repeat the same line over and over forever.
Yeah. So yeah, I gave it a 4.
All right. But that leaves me with this total score of 19, which is a 76% or a 3.85 star rating.
Oh, and I have a 17 out of 25, which is a 68% or a 3.4 5-star rating.
I have an 18, which is the average of the two, which is why Jay couldn't mess up the averages,
Yep.
which is a 72% or a 3.6.
Yeah, so Emma has the average score here, meaning that if she had not been on the episode, the final score would have been the exact same.
Which is good because normally I bring the score down. So,
I mean,
or is that just for the Barbies?
Just for the Barbies, and I think Monster High. For the Nolan, you were bringing it up.
Oh, true, yeah, because I really liked those.
Yeah,
Mm.
figures you didn't like the Barbie or Monster High as much, so you brought the average down a little bit. You like the Nolan, so you brought the average up.
And this one I'm average about, so it stays average.
Yeah.
Oh, Chihuahua I probably brought up too, right?
Yes, you did bring up Beverly Hills Chihuahua 1 quite a bit.
Because I like the movie.
Yeah,
It's just a fun watch. You guys were too harsh
It just
on
surprised me.
Too
It's the
harsh.
nostalgia.
You can go back and listen to our Beverly Hills Chihuahua episode. That was a fun episode. This was
You
a fun
could.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could join the Patreon. I don't know what's on there, but I'm sure episodes are on there.
Yes, we have episodes. We have bonus episodes. We have John does reviews of like Disney movies. He watched all of the Disney movies and did little reviews.
My Disney diaries. I
That's a lot.
also have my letterbox corner and
Yeah.
other stuff. Check it out.
And you get next week's episode early, so you can listen
Wow.
Actual next week's
Yeah.
episode, not last week's. Next
to
week's
yeah,
episode.
Yeah.
the one which we have recorded at this point.
Yeah, the
because
next
we
week,
are
last
way
week
out of
episode.
order. Yeah. The High School Musical El Desafío episode, which, speaking of, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram and Tumblr, Binging Barbie on Twitter and Serialized, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a 5-star review and go join our Patreon, which we were just talking about. And like I just said, we will be back next week to talk about the 3 High School Musical spin-offs from Latin America, High School Musical El Desafío. And until then, remember, We're all in
We're
this together.
all in this together. Oh,
Toodles.
toodaloo.
Doodles.